My name is Dr. Brandon Zeidler, President and Chief Technical Officer of Adaptive Dynamics Incorporated. I co-founded our company in 2003 with my father, Professor James Zeidler, to develop revolutionary adaptive signal processing technologies that blindly mitigate unknown interference sources from radio systems. By focusing exclusively on this extremely difficult and varied problem for nearly 2 decades, we've attracted over $20 million in SBIR and Phase 3 funding and successfully executed over 60 contracts to develop this disruptive, game-changing technology and integrate it into dozens of systems. Many domains, one solution. I'm excited to briefly describe this groundbreaking interference mitigation product and look forward to hearing your ideas on how our revolutionary technology can address your specific needs. Our best-of-breed interference mitigation technology can be rapidly deployed at low cost and with minimal risk to ensure that your tremendous investments in cutting-edge C4ISR capabilities for the warfighter will remain effective and available when they need it most. If you have a receive antenna anywhere in your system, we really need to talk. So please, don't hesitate to contact me at the email address shown here. Adaptive Dynamics Incorporated has a small but talented team led by 3 PhDs hailing from the UCSD Jacobs School of Engineering. My father and co-founder, Professor James Zeidler, is a Life Fellow of the IEEE in recognition for his pioneering contributions in the field of adaptive signal processing. I grew up trying to decipher the seemingly arcane wizardry described in his many publications, and through the course of my own postgraduate education, dissecting the shortcomings of the state-of-the-art, became inspired to devise a new approach to interference mitigation that can be generalized to solve many challenging applications. Many domains, one solution, our tagline, reflects the completion of our unfaltering quest to create a single product that can be delivered to address the particular interference mitigation requirements of nearly any system. We have productized this revolutionary technology by developing an innovative, well-honed process to deliver protected firmware cores to our customers, tailored to their specific requirements, in mere weeks, not years. With unparalleled quality assurance methods to ensure first-pass success of our delivered firmware, uniform volume pricing for government customers to procure end-user licenses, and secure, efficient services to distribute license keys, our TRL-8 interference mitigation technology is ready for insertion into your system. By deploying this firmware upgrade across your network and retrieving perpetual license keys from our secure server to unlock each device, each activated system will be automatically protected from nearly any source of interference, either intentional or incidental. In many applications, it is impractical or impossible to deploy interference mitigation capabilities as a firmware upgrade. There are also situations where the existing RF hardware in a system may impose performance limitations that could otherwise be alleviated by integrating purpose-built interference mitigation hardware. To address these situations, Adaptive Dynamics has also produced a high-performance TRL-8 hardware applique that is installed between the antenna and existing radio. This applique has transitioned into a program of record and is now offered for sale by our hardware partners in a small man-pack form factor that can be operated on wall power or with standard battery packs. It is also an ideal proof-of-concept testbed to demonstrate the expected performance benefits achievable by directly integrating our product as a firmware upgrade into your existing system. Our team are experienced partners with large contractors, working closely with the appropriate business, contracts, management, and technical personnel throughout the full product cycle. A typical project runs over several weeks to identify system design and integration requirements, deliver the hardware applique or custom-tailored firmware core, and support the integration, testing, and deployment process. Our experienced team would be delighted to engage with yours at any time to discuss the specific details of your application, hear your ideas on how our technology can enable groundbreaking new capabilities in your system, and work with you to determine the best solution for your domain. We have no doubt all experienced the effects of interference as we go about our daily lives, in the form of dropped calls, unreliable Wi-Fi, and spotty GPS location data. Practically not a day goes by that we don't see articles in the news about 5G cell towers interfering with aircraft navigation systems, trolls and pirates hijacking or interfering with international shortwave broadcasts, GPS spoofing attacks, and concerns about electronic warfare. In short, the need to both broadcast and listen in a crowded electromagnetic spectrum poses a substantial challenge that only gets worse by the hour as staggering numbers of new radio devices incessantly roll off assembly lines worldwide. While difficult, even in scenarios where all the radios are regulated and abide by the rules, the potential for adversarial operations to deny use of the electromagnetic spectrum to our warfighters poses a clear and present danger. One of the most common tropes in fiction of many kinds is the inability of a hero to relay a vital message to their command, or to receive a dire warning about impending danger, due to some type of interference or jamming blocking their communications or disrupting their sensors. Mature electronic warfare capabilities have been a reality since the Vietnam War, and as the saying goes, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Without an effective suite of countermeasures to mitigate interference, the cutting-edge C4ISR capabilities that our warfighter depend on to execute their missions successfully could potentially be degraded or denied to them at any time. Please take a moment to consider, what interference challenges do I think impact my system? What are the likely sources? Is intentional interference a possible scenario? Now, consider the impact to your end user if their system were to suddenly malfunction without any explanation or warning. What would the impact be if the malfunction persisted throughout their entire mission? What would the impact be if all such systems were rendered inoperable across an entire theater of operation? Does the opportunity to protect these systems for a nominal per unit cost potentially save lives? Could it offer a decisive advantage to deliver our warfighters the upper hand in a large-scale conflict, or add other substantial value to the warfighter? Our interference mitigation product was developed to provide the interference countermeasures that our warfighters urgently need, a groundbreaking capability to blindly separate desired signals from undesired interference. Military and commercial systems alike face similar challenges, and both stand to benefit by the same fundamental interference mitigation technology. Inspired by Arthur C. Clarke and my formative years spent trying to understand my father's IEEE journal publications, I coined our revolutionary interference mitigation technology the Multiple Adaptive Generalized Interference Canceller, or MAGIC for short, and promptly filed a registered trademark with the USPTO. As Mr. Clarke famously said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I think this is a very fitting description of our capability, and perhaps you may agree with that sentiment by considering the significance of the graphic on this slide. The two pictures shown here compare a typical spectrum before and after magic filtering. In both plots, the y-axis indicates the power at a range of frequencies defined by the x-axis. The frequency range is tuned to match the occupancy of a very weak spread spectrum signal of interest, indicated by the green traces. The black traces indicate the thermal noise pedestal inherent in the system. In the top plot, before magic filtering, a mix of wideband and multiple very powerful narrowband interferers are shown in blue, overshadowed by the matched magenta traces. These interference sources completely overwhelm the desired signal, rendering it unrecoverable. Enter the magic filter. The magenta traces indicate the blind estimate of all the interference sources determined by magic, which, as you can see, coincide almost perfectly. The recovered signal output from our magic filter is shown in the bottom plot, indicating near-perfect recovery of the intrinsic noise pedestal in black and desired signal of interest in green. The removed interference can also be provided for subsequent analysis as desired. Without the magic filter, the green signal of interest is totally unrecoverable. It is completely buried and overwhelmed by the combination of thermal noise and interference in the channel. Considering this capability to clean and recover the buried signal of interest by automatically tracking and adapting to highly dynamic, variable changes in both wideband and narrowband interference sources without any reference or other prior information, I hope you would agree that magic is a fitting moniker for this astounding capability. But no matter what you call it, this robust protection is exactly what our warfighters urgently need to maintain C4ISR capabilities and spectral dominance in contested and congested operational environments. If you can envision an application for this type of capability in your system, I urge you to please contact me. Here we briefly summarize all the features that make our interference countermeasure a unique, game-changing product with unparalleled benefits to the warfighter. The ultimate benefit to the warfighter is that our magic interference mitigation is a mature TRL-8 technology that is available today to readily integrate into your system, either as a firmware upgrade or as a hardware applique, at low risk and at low cost. It is transparent to the operator and helps ensure that the intended C4ISR capabilities of your system are available even in unknown adverse conditions. It has been independently verified in numerous systems, guaranteeing strong performance in a wide range of applications. Adaptive Dynamics has spent nearly 2 decades and $20 million perfecting this product through the SBIR program. The only cost to your program are a nominal firm fixed price integration costs and the per unit license fees, with most favored customer volume discount pricing. To quickly recap, our small but talented team, led by experienced and proven innovators, provides a turnkey service to integrate our custom encrypted firmware in a matter of weeks, typically at a nominal firm fixed price. We work hand in hand with your team through the full product cycle, from defining design requirements through integration and testing, and ultimately deployment and sustainment over a short schedule and for an affordable, standardized per unit price. Our well-honed integration methodology and rigorous quality assurance have a 100% first pass success track record, reflecting minimal adoption risk. If for any reason a firmware upgrade is an undesirable technology insertion path for your system, Adaptive Dynamics also offers a TRL-8 state-of-the-art hardware solution that has been deployed to a program of record. This applique provides the perfect proof of concept for protecting your system and can be procured directly through our hardware partners. If the capabilities of our current hardware offering are not an exact fit for your specific requirements, Adaptive Dynamics and our experienced hardware partners will customize it to your specification over a short schedule and reasonable budget. Our hardware partners provide turnkey design and manufacturing services for custom interference mitigation applique systems. And Adaptive Dynamics conducts both on-site support and in-house testing for firmware updates to off-the-shelf or custom systems from our partners. Once again, I'm Dr. Brandon Zeidler with Adaptive Dynamics Incorporated, and I would like to thank you all for taking the time to learn more about Adaptive Dynamics and our game-changing interference mitigation product, the Magic Filter. In closing, I urge you to reflect once more on the value to the warfighter that an effective interference countermeasure in your system would provide, and consider the benefit of integrating a proven, low-risk, low-cost TRL-8 product that can be rapidly deployed in weeks as a firmware upgrade or a hardware applique. Many domains, one solution reflects the attainment of our $20 million quest, nearly 2 decades and 3 generations of technology in the making, to develop a productized interference countermeasure appropriate for virtually any radio system. I look forward to hearing from you and working with your team to determine how our solution can protect your domain. Thank you.